Hey there, Boots Owen here. This is a Beko heat pump tumble dryer. Bought it on eBay, paid money for it, real money, on the basis that the pump at the back doesn't work. I've done a few tests on it. They'll all be in the video that's coming up, but I just want your help with it. So far, I'm pretty sure that pump isn't working, but also I've put it on for 3 hours on extra dry, and it's a kind of a self-regulating program with a load of laundry in it. It did nothing for it. It ran for probably more than 3 hours, didn't get it dry. I put it on for another 3 hours. I've just aborted that after 3 hours. It's still not dry. It's completely damp still. It's drier than it was, but it's like the heat pump isn't pumping. Now that could be that the refrigerator unit that's in it is dead, the compressor, or it could be that the capacitor's not right. My question is, what am I meant to do about that? Balfi, you might know. If anybody else knows, give me a heads up on it. I'd like to see it going. I'd like to repair it. I've ordered a pump, waiting to see if an auction ends and I get a bargain or not. A new one's 20 quid, something like that, so I'm not too worried about the pump. The pump's the least of my worries, because you could just drill a hole in the bottom and let it drain onto the floor. That won't stop it working. It should be heat pumping, and it isn't. It's not doing the full condenser cycle. Been on for 3 hours. There's moisture in here, like moisture coming out, but those fins, they are neither hot nor cold. They're just ambient. So I'd say it's either sprung a leak or something else. You tell me what you think, and we'll figure it out together. So here follows what I've been at today and yesterday. Stay tuned. This is a Beko Eco Gentle Technology. Oh, here's a mouthful. DTIKP71131W. It's a heat pump tumble dryer, and it's integrated once upon a time. So it has these big nodules on it, but I have a feeling they'll just come off. There's screws on them. I think you might just unscrew them. Anyways, I was told it wasn't working. Bought it, spares repairs. The heat pump fins look okay and clear. I've had a look at them already. I was told it wasn't pumping, so that's now I think it's pumping the water is what they meant. It's got its two filters, one here and then another within. He said the wife wanted a new one, so I can't be bothered fixing it or getting it fixed. I don't think he was going to do it. Around the back, it would appear that somebody has been in here before, because that screw is missing. That screw is missing. Now, ooh, all the pipes are hidden on this one. It makes my life a bit more tricky. I'm guessing this one's got to come out, does it? Or can I clip this out and lift this up or something? That's it, up a bit, maybe. Yeah, there's a float switch down there, which is good because it's mechanical, and then there's a pump, presumably behind those purple wires. Could have a look at that before I even begin. I remember on a hot point, which is basically a Beko nowadays, I think, Balfi said you just trim the ends of the rubbers on the pump, so I'll have a go at this. So the pumps are incredibly weak, and their own blades can impair them, or impede them, that's the right word. This looks like it should fold down, but this hose here is in the way, so I've just pulled that out, and then if I push it up, it's not going to work, is it? It looks like it wants to fold down. Does this bit here have to come off? Don't know. This is the joy of making it up as you go along. Do these guys clip up now? Let's get a screwdriver on it. Yeah, let's try it like this. There we go. They're popping up. Are they? Something's not coming up. Oh, it's all coming together now. It's just this hose is getting in my way. What if I push that up out of the way? I won't get that back now. There's two hoses. One will be a flow and one will be a return, I imagine. There's another hose in here. Pop it up. Get out of the way. I've lost that first one. That's a bit of a nightmare now. I might have to take the side off, probably. Probably that's what you do to get in here anyways. You take the side off. I don't know. I've not done this before. Come on up. How much more do we have to go? Quite a bit of a ways here. I'll just put it back together. See if it works. Now, it may be actually that this whole unit is glued together. Sometimes they do that to make my life difficult. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it before I embark on this journey. Don't do that. The sides of it are made out of soft cheese. I don't know why that's just failing underneath my... It's a potted pump motor. I guess that makes it waterproof. Where did this one go? That'll be your return because it's bigger, I'd imagine. I don't know if I can find this hose that I've just lost. I'm in it now. So you take the top off, 2 screws on the back, then there's another screw in here, and then there's a line of screws down the side. Lets you in, and you've got your flow and return carefully hidden out of your way. So let's attach that one back in here. You can hear an airplane. We can play with that now when it's working. Kind of need to hook the side and top back on. Well, I don't, because what we can do is we can just check the pump for action. Sorry about the airplane. Quite a bit of fluff in there, but not too much. Quite a box over there. I wonder what that does. Don't know what that unit does. Maybe that's the control board, but there's also a fascia board over there. I've got a date on it, 2303 2022. Makes it 2 years old. It's not old. 22, 23, 23, 24. So it's 2.5 years old. Let's you can clean the condenser through the top there. That's better than that other one that I've done in the past. The condenser looks okay. Good filters on it. Plug it in, give it a whirl, put some water in here. So I plugged it in and it went straight to 10. Let's start with a 30 something or other start. Door's shut. Is it gonna go? I imagine it would like to. Do something. Can't hear anything. Go. No, it's flashing now. I don't know what I've done there. Let's start off again. Off. On. Start. Okay. Turning. Sounds good. Pump. Hear anything. Oh, it's quite loud. So how do I get water in here? Here's this float about to float. Hear it gurgling. Hear another noise now. It does sound gurgly. Can't see anything coming out, however. Could be that the pump runs all the time. Some of the machines do that and the float only does an indicator of when there's too much water in it. It does appear to be pumping, although where it's going is somewhat of a mystery. So that float's going down again, see? Not going into the drawer. Weird as. Get some more water on it. So the water is going somewhere, which is the mystery here. float switch on. Yeah, I can hear water up above. It's just inundated there. We put about 2 litres, or the best part of 2 litres into it. The water's in the tank now. So is it not working? It might be working, which makes for an awful dull video. See the float switch rocking there and going down again and turning off. I could see through that gap water flowing in there a second ago. Of course, it might not be the pump, it could be the heat pump. Now the switch is on. I'll keep flooding water into it. Switch is up, put a load of water in, I can hear it pumping, I can hear the water coming out above, so this doesn't seem to be an issue. Oh, you almost see it coming through there a second ago. Stopped again. The float switch is still up, so maybe this is the issue. Hear it again. There's water coming through. You can just about see in the middle. There it is. So I would say that pump is working. Whether or not I have a look at it and try and clean it, it's up to me. The switch is high now, so it should be pumping. So there could be a fault on that. So I'll take this out and take a look at it, make a mess, I guess. So just as that happened, this light came on, which I think means it's not pumping enough water. 25 minutes to go, let's turn it off, I'll plug it out, we'll take that pump out and we'll have a look inside it and see if it is those wings. So yeah, I suspect the float switch was telling it that there was too much water in it. Let's plug those out. Got the side off so I can pull them up a bit, maybe. Yeah, okay. It's dripping water down there on the side, so that's just that there's too much water gone into the tank now, into the heat exchanger, probably. It's alright, it's going on the floor and outside. So this should just lift up then, and come out, maybe. Alright, that's the pump out. That's all there is to the pump. It looks to be clipped in, so it might be possible to get a replacement pump if I can't fix it. Where we see there, a Woozy Howley pump 29625108000. It's just a 13-watt pump. It's tiny. Yeah, we're quite full of water there. Oh dear. Well, that wasn't meant to happen. So just by picking it up, the top has come off my aeroboard thingy, so I need some polystyrene cement on that, which I think I might have, or a cocktail stick through it or something like that. Let's tidy up the bench a little bit. Been working on engines, which I've given up liking. Even a pin from a stainless steel pin would do that. So this fellow, I don't know if I really even need to go in that far. Right, let's see. These should clip off, hopefully without breaking them. No, it's got a plastic set of wings. It hasn't got rubber wings in there, so that's one tab up. Let's get another one. Maybe we'll work our way around it. What do I need? A little screwdriver. Where are you, little screwdriver? many of these engineering things have I got? Engineer's picks. 3. That's how many I've got. Okay, I need to just kind of pop it up with something. Let's try another screwdriver. One that's magnetized. There we go. Okay. So that is that. The hole is clear. The pump is turning. It's not one with the rubber ends, so that is not the answer. It's not full of crap either, which it's a bit of fluff there, but that's not the problem. So it could be a pump. I could also disarm the float switch so it'll just leak. I could also drill a hole in the bottom of it and have it draining out onto the floor if I was running it outside. Right, there's nothing visibly wrong with that pump. Can we try and energize that and see what'll happen? Live and neutral will be probably the same on these, or reversible or some other phrase. Right. Right, that's it on the safety block. Let's plug it in. And power on. Oh, it was kind of clunky. It's kind of clunky, and then it kind of takes off. So what happens then, I think, is that one of the bushings either end of this is worn, and so when it starts off, because it's just got a field of magnetism around it and a magnet on a shaft, if the bushing's worn, it gets stuck to one side. And I'd say that's what's happening. And once you kick it, sets it into position, starts it off. So it might do it itself, but equally, that's all it needs. Yeah, I'd say it's an intermittent pump failure, all things being equal. So it might work some of the time, as we've seen outside, and it might not. That's all it needs, just a little nudge. And it'll be a tiny, what am I saying? Be a tiny variance in the tolerance of that shaft. Just rocks side to side a little bit too much. And of course, because it's an almost sealed unit, this is what you're up to. I'll have a look online and see what the story is. So this stuff will be about 25 or 30 years old. I think this is a tube from my childhood that's been in the cupboard ever since. Is it even opened? Yeah, it's opened. Polystyrene cement. Whoa. Oh, it smells like chemicals. Lovely. Reminds me of making models as a tot. That's it. Squeeze it. That'll do. Put a bit of weight on it now with something. Wow, that's lasted. I don't know what the shelf life of this stuff is, but 30 years I'd say. There you go. Let's put, I don't know if that even needs much. It needs something on it. Is it melting the, I think it might be melting the polystyrene together rather than gluing it. Sugar. It is. I don't want it to do that. I won't put any more weight on it. Oh, yeah, it's melted the side of it. Bloody hell. What's the instructions say? Inflammable. Yeah, okay. For use in all polystyrene plastic except expanded foam. Okay, well let's mess that up. Right, so that's probably going to eat into that now until it stops. So I might have ruined that. What a moron. Oh well. What can I do? Nothing really. Just needs to go off now. I've put too much on. Oh well, let's leave it because that ship has sailed. So it's for polystyrene, but not expanded polystyrene. So that was something I didn't know about then before. Right, made in Hull. Yeah, it's rotting it from the inside out. Look. Bugger. PVA probably would have done it. Right, well, we'll have to make something because it doesn't really matter. This is the float, so I could chop that off. In fact, let's do it now before it eats its way through it. Something sharp. God, you let me out of the box for 10 minutes. Right, so yeah, that's gonna eat itself up. So hopefully we've saved this. So we just need a riser in the middle to get it to about there. Yeah, I'd say a nut and a bolt, but some like a plastic screw would do it, just so that it hits the micro switch. So I'm not too fussed about that. It's not the end of the world. I looked this fellow up online. You can buy them. They're 27 or 28 quid, which looks to be about right. There's one in an auction second hand for 99p and ending in 2 days. So I'm going to sleep on that. I won't put that back together for now. What I'm going to do is put the machine back together and see if it works. It's back together on the back. Tell now if it's pumping or not. I'm pretty sure that switch is just to turn it off and that the pump should be pumping, but the water level seems to stay constant. I've drained the drawer, so it's not that. Actually, it might have dropped down. I don't know if it's more water in the drawer. Not really. Not really. So it's dripping here and it's wet at the side was underneath it, so it's just been dripping out of itself. Look like it's gone down to somewhere though since I started it again. It's outside, so we're cold, so it's unlikely to do its heat pumping, but I'll leave it on for half an hour and see if we even get a twinge of warm off it. A little bit of warm will indicate that the heat pump's working, then I'll know if it's worth replacing that pump, either for a couple of quid second hand. I think there's a lot of them buy it now at 12 quid, new 27 or 28, and then there's one up very cheap, £1 plus postage or something. I'm annoyed about that polystyrene thing. That's my own idiocy, but I'll remember that in the future maybe. This is the only way I'll learn. I had it on super short or something like that and it just ended with no warning. It just went to end. There was no error lights, so I put it on timed programs and pressed this button here, which is buzzer/time. Put it up to an hour, see what happens. It was only on for about 5 minutes before it ended. It might know that there's no laundry in it. These things are a little bit smarter nowadays, but I don't know if it does or not. So I've just got to wait. So it's been running for 16 minutes now, I guess. If the timer's right. I can't feel any heat on it, but it's outside and it's cold, so I'm not expecting to really feel it warming up. I might expect to feel some heat moving somewhere. It's not hot. Like these things could take, I would say, half an hour before they even begin to warm up. But I heard this thing slurping and gurgling, so it started pumping again. So it is an intermittent fault. I'm annoyed myself for breaking that polystyrene, but I think maybe hot glue is the answer, and that just sloshes away in there. So that's only a safety feature. It's kind of up to you as the user whether you need that or not. I guess the reason it's like this is so that you could pull off this hose here, tuck it in, and put another hose coming out to drain it straight away, drain it away to the sink or something like that. I've just got to leave it run. I'd like to feel some heat in it. Ooh, look, there's a screw missing here, so it looks like someone's been in here as well. Wonder about that. Motor's working. Hard to know. Hard to know yet until we feel like it should just be a little bit of warmth in it. They don't run hot in the same way, although they must run hot enough to condense. Maybe if I open it up it's at 18 minutes now. If I open it up in a while, maybe I'll feel a bit of heat in it. We'll check it out. I almost forgot about it, but it's been on for 50 minutes and I can't feel any heat in that. Maybe. So I'll open the door on it. Can't feel heat, but these things are funny. I'll open the the door and see what I think. There's no laundry in it as well, so there's no damp air to go around and get heated and cooled. Yeah, it is warmer than not warm, but it's not warm. That's what I would say. It's warmer than it was, but it is not warm. So it's probably okay. It's probably worth fixing. That's what I mean to say. So I'll crack on with that then and order a part. Right, forgot to turn the camera on, but we're on hot glue. Seems to be doing something. Just melting it, I don't know. Does hot glue work on this stuff? Does it look about right? Let it cool down now. So it's the next day and I've put this fellow onto extra dry cottons. That gave it 3 hours and it's been on for, I'd say, oh well, it's definitely been on for over an hour, that's for sure. You can see moisture coming through in there, I think. Not sure. It doesn't feel hot by any means. That's how these things go. These heat pumps. Let's just check the drawer and see if anything's come up. Nothing. It's not, I wouldn't even call it warm, but that doesn't mean it's not working, because these things tend to run quite cool. Oh, there's a bit of heat coming out of there. So even for the next hour and a half, it might still stay pretty cool. Just got to watch out that it doesn't leak on the floor, but it should have bored first, because I've made that float back up with hot glue and put it back in. So it should have bored first. The float's way down just there. You can see it's not even rising. So I'll stay in touch with it. So I'll keep an eye on it, maybe come back in another hour or so. So it's at 101 there, but I have a feeling it's been longer than an hour. It doesn't feel hot in any way. I can see the air blowing through and I can see lint on it, and the laundry looks drier. That's all I can say. Can't really feel air there. Just see what it's like around the back. If it's hot, it's the mildest heat. It's not cold, it's not icy cold, but it's definitely not hot like a condenser or a vented tumble dryer. It has another hour, so we'll see what happens. Well, let's check the water again while we're here. It's not even rising up. Let's check the drawer on the front. Still nothing. So we'll give it another hour. Oh, it's gone up to 105. Yeah, it must be idling now, trying to get warm or something. I guess you can dry the laundry in cold air if you have enough of it. It's about 30 minutes later and this machine is still at 104. It was at 105 just before I turned the camera on. Still no real heat. I can't remember what the other one was like. I think I've had a Indesit one of these before. Again, there is heat blown out of there, you know, it's got heat. I wonder if I get the thermal camera on it and we'll have a look at it. So here's what we're looking at through the eyes of the thermal imaging camera. 22.7 in the middle there, 23.4. For contrast, the washing machine, it's on a different scale. The top of that's 18 degrees, but it's on a cold wash, 15 degrees, which is exactly what it's set at. So over there, where the door interlock is, which is peculiar, but it looks good on the screen, but of course my hand is way hotter at 38 or whatever it is. So let's just have a look around the back. It's what is that, 23 degrees. It's not hot, but it's not cold either. Yeah, it does look a lot hotter there. So you're getting up to, well, 23 again, which is not roasting. That's what it is. Can't do any more with that. It's hot. Not that hot. And there's, for contrast, there's a washing machine. Just bizarrely hot. That's just a reflection, I guess, because that's a stainless steel Miele. That's a cold tumble dryer in there. 14.2. So it's 10 degrees hotter, but that's not much. But it's still got an hour and 5 minutes to go. So it's gone back up to 105 from 104 there now. That's what the thermal image looks like. It's pretty neat, but it's still 25 degrees compared to an ambient temperature of 24, which isn't particularly hot, but can we tell if the laundry's drying? I don't want to take it out. It's still, look, there's condensation in there. I guess it's probably ruin everything now if I do this. There's condensation in it. And it's nice clean machine here. I'll just have to wait. This machine started off at about 80 minutes, so that's about 74 minutes. This is still on 102. So I wonder, like, it feels warmer now, but it's taken an awful long time to warm up. It feels warmer, but it's not hot by any means. And that fellow's not rising really. And there's no water in the drawer. Another hour to go. This has been on for at least 3 hours. Guess we just have to wait. We're easily another 30 minutes on. It's at 104 still, so I wonder, is it not heat pumping properly? I wonder, I don't really want to abort it because it's working, it's tumbling. You can see the moisture on here, it's not getting warm enough. I don't know that it is heat pumping. So it could have two faults. Expect it to be warmer than that. There's no water in there. Is it just tumbling damp laundry around and around? I wonder how you would diagnose that. The other tumble dryer's on now. It's about half an hour since I was here last. It says check the filter, I guess. It says end, so seems to have just decided, and that's not dry at all. That's somewhat warm, quite damp. Check the filter. It has two filters, so there's a bit of fluff in there that wasn't there before. It's not really drying it though. I wonder if the heat pump's knackered as well. There's a secondary filter down there, but it's pretty clean too. So far, it's a disappointing result. There's no water in the drawer, but given that the laundry's still arguably as damp as it ever was, I don't know. This fellow, it looks clean and clear, so I don't know what to tell you. What do you think? Now it's gone back to 304 without me having done anything other than open the door. There's also a light on inside. I'm happy to just keep letting it tumble because I can't really do much about it. Just you tumble away. Maybe something needs to kick in. It could be that the motor is knackered in it, the heat pump motor. In which case I bought a lemon. But I'm not entirely too worried about that. I think what I'll start doing is taking the side off it and seeing how it runs, but for now I'm just going to leave it to run 3 hours. It's about 5:30 now, so no, it's not, yeah, it is, no, it's about 4:30 now, so it should be 7:30. It's late enough, we'll see. So I'd say that's right at about 25 minutes. I It's tumbling, but I don't know that it's any warmer than it was before, so I'll just let it play out. So it's been on for another 3 hours or thereabouts. It's still, you can see it's still foggy in there. It's down to 2 minutes, it's gone up to 6. It's gonna keep messing. It's still damp. That's not, other than, you know, continuously blowing the same air over it forever with no heat pumping. I wonder, is the compressor motor croaked on it? Is it not compressorizing? Could just be a new capacitor for the compressor. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure how to test it other than it isn't working. So what am I meant to test? I'm guessing somebody like Balfi might know. Not sure. Right, that's going to be the end of this video until I figure out where I'm going with this. Questions or comments, leave them below. A like would be appreciated. Subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want to become a member of the channel, please do it. Otherwise, thanks for watching. See you later.